We are extremely grateful that you guys came and took the time out of your busy schedule to come and just give us some great insight and, good advice. I know you talked a lot about your why. So just diving into what you're doing now, what would you say were some of the most pivotal moments when you guys started New American Funding?
Well, it's interesting is because I was the outsider. I didn't come from the mortgage industry. Patty's been doing it since she was 16. So when we started to do something together, it was hard because I kind of had to earn the right to have an opinion, and she was.
I knew it all, remember? All wives know everything. Yes.
And so I think that we really needed to kind of find our lanes. In the beginning, we ran separate lanes, but then after a while, we both learned to really respect what each other brought to the table and realize that we could go a lot farther, a lot faster together with her knowledge asset, not my knowledge asset. And that's, I think, the main reason why we've been as successful as we have been is because I respect what she knows so much, and then she respects what I know, and we don't really cross over, which is great. I mean, for 21 years now, we've been in offices that share a wall, and it just works great because we do different things and we respect each other so much.
So, also you announced Inc. magazine, and that's like a huge milestone. How do you feel?
I was actually shocked. They called me for an interview. And it is actually a funny story about self-advocation, speaking up for yourself. I was at a women's entrepreneur event, and I was the keynote for the dinner. And Inc. magazine was the sponsor for the event. And I'm like, Inc. magazine. I think we've won Inc. magazine's Inc. 5000 a few times. So I checked, and we've won Inc. 5000 8 times. And as a Latina entrepreneur, I'm wondering how many times do you have to win till they call you for an interview? Right. So that night I was doing my keynote and I just threw it in there. I said, and hey, Inc. magazine, I've been a recipient of your fantastic award, Inc. 5000 8 times. I'm still waiting for my interview. And the editor came up to me. She's like, I am so sorry. I'm like, no, I just thought I'd say it. And so a few months later, the interview, and the cover hasn't come out, but I shot the photos a couple weeks ago and they leaked it. I thought it was March, but maybe April. So now, but I'm proud just of the representation for me, it's one thing for our company, those who I mentor, but really the voice is just self-advocating. Had I not spoken up, they still would probably not find me, right? So I think that you got to speak up for yourself.
Well, you have to, especially Latina women, because it just, even now, it doesn't seem like you're being tapped on the shoulder to be presented. Patty was blessed. She's the only Latina in America to ever have a business school named after her. So you have a Patty Arvielo School of Business and Management at Vanguard University in Southern California. It's a minority college. And I was shocked for the first ever Latina woman to have a business school. Why she didn't make me?
We're like, where's Good Morning America? But I mean, they don't tell our stories. So, that we push a lot to self-advocate, not just for us and our company, but for Latinas in a whole, just because there really is so few publications and stories and movies that shed us in a positive light. So, it's still something I'm working towards. I never feel angry or like everybody says, well, have you been held back? Well, obviously no. But I think a lot of that is because, I speak up for myself, and sometimes I sound snotty or bitchy or whatever people want, whatever tone they want to label me with. But at the end of the day, I speak up for myself. I don't care how the tone comes out. I've been better. I get better, but I'm very passionate and I'm very spicy, and I've been called everything in the book. But bottom line is I'm being heard. So I just think we just all need to speak up for ourselves. So.
And now, Patty, I know you said that New American Funding is the biggest, not only women-owned company, but Latina women-owned company. When you started your company, did you envision that this was going to be something that was going to go on?
No. Like my mom says, oh, no. No. I think for me, I have always limited my vision. I've always had a vision and a goal. When I first got married with Rick, I said, I just want this much money cash in the bank. That's all I want. We don't need to make any more. I'm going to be happy with that. Well, that's gone like 100 times more than that. But I always have goals. So, as I accomplish a goal, I set a higher bar. So I think that my goals aren't so far reached. They're very attainable. So I think that's kind of been a secret sauce for me, that I never felt like anything I wanted was out of reach. I feel proud that we're the largest Latina-owned mortgage company. We are one of the largest Latina-founded companies in the country. But as far as even mortgage goes, there's so many women in mortgage that really, they're doing the operations, they're processing the loans. I bet you there's more women in mortgage than men, but the ownership doesn't reflect that. So I'm hoping that that changes, and it's still a long way to go, but I'm trying to mentor broker women owners, how to get warehouse lines, how to, be bigger, like he taught me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that in the beginning, the goal was we want 5 branches in Southern California.
Very attainable goals.
And we want to be the biggest in California, which then we started open branches around the country. And now we're in all 50 states, and we have hundreds of branches all over the United States. But it didn't start out. It's just like we took what the market gave us. We focused on our culture, very important to us, and our mission. We focused on those 2 things. If we can align with a culture we believe in and we're proud of, that's going to pay us back. And then the mission, we're one of the larger lenders to African Americans and Latinos in America. I think that for that type of lending, the industry is 17%, and we're closer to 40%. Well, that's a mission that we're proud of, and it's good business. I mean, it's good business. You've got a lot of pent up demand there that you can focus on and help those people realize the dream of home ownership. It makes you feel good by doing good, and that's just all we've really focused on. And we just take what the market gives us, and it just happens to give us more and more growth and more size.
We're in the people business, so it's our job to attract people. So I work on that all the time, and that's why I try to lead New American Funding as just a real human that experiences joy and pain and hurt and triumph and everything else. I have my good days, I have my bad days, just like everybody else. And so I think all our team members know that. And I think it's important because then you just feel more relatable and you feel more seen in a company that's, we're almost 5,000 employees. So, I wish I could know everybody. We don't know everybody, but I hope that when we tell our stories that they're able to resonate, that it's not unattainable to be where we are. It's totally doable for anybody.
Right. And being such a successful woman in the industry, was there ever a time where you felt like you weren't being valued, or that you had to push pretty hard? And Rick, how did you have to support her in that capacity?
When we would go to the Mortgage Bankers Association and they would ask me, "Oh, are you his wife?" And I'm like, I co-own the company with him. So it was a little bit of that. And I still battle it a little bit. But, if I look at all my peers and the people I really compete with, they're all a bunch of white guys. And I'm the only woman. And I just don't compete the same way they do. They compete in kind of a way that, it's kind of nasty, and I don't. So I still I don't battle it. I'm just trying to find my way to lead in an effective way, to be able to compete, to still be an attractive company for people to work for, and to know that I am a true leader no matter how I lead, because leading with your heart and being empathetic isn't like socially cool, or sometimes people don't think we're successful because we're so nice or whatever. But I'm thinking nice selves. So we'll continue to be married and rooted to who we are, and I'll still share my experiences, but I still have to think out of the box, like, how am I really going to compete with these big male leaders? And I don't think the way they do, and I don't act the way they do. So I'm still my own lane.
I would answer too a little differently in that, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first company when I was 16. So when I got into the mortgage business at the invitation of Patty, as an entrepreneur, your only job is to have vision and to find talented people and talk them into joining you. That really at the core is what makes you successful. And when I joined forces with Patty, I realized how impressive she was, you know, more so than she realized. And I didn't. I mean, I've been with her for almost 30 years. You know, I hear her talk at the house all the time. I'm not that. Thanks. But in business, I was so wowed. And I'm like, Patty, you're really good. Give yourself permission to be as great as you are. And the minute that switched in her from being what she calls herself my best employee to being the maverick leader that she is, then I was just get out of the way.
Right.
And that's what was so fun and rewarding to me, to see that unlock. And so many people have that, and they need to find out a way to unlock that, and everyone can achieve greatness. So that's what's been fun and rewarding for me. I am definitely her.
He's my biggest fan.
I love that. I love that. All right, so with this being the graduate, my last question, or our last question, would be what's next?
So right now we are the 12th largest independent mortgage bank, and our goal is to be 5. And we're all, all the leaders at NAF. We're at our leadership event last week. We all walk the same talk, and that's really important because now it's not just Rick and I, right? It is this company-wide leadership team that's bearing the responsibility to get us to our goal. And so that's been really fun to watch. It actually, when we were in our 40s, we used to say, when we're 60, we don't want to work this hard, and we're there. And we do work very hard, but differently. And it's so rewarding to watch the team we built carry the torch forward, and in the spirit that we built the company. So, it's huge to watch.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. You have to have goals.
Yeah.
You have to have goals. I'm a big manifester. You have to manifest those goals. It absolutely works. And what's most empowering now that we're as big as we are, and we have the bench we have, meaning we have the high level executives that now they're indoctrinated. They see the vision. They know the vision. Everyone's going in the same way. So as owners, when the company's really grown bigger than we are at this point, it's fun to watch everyone else push the ball forward. And there's no doubt in my mind that we'll achieve the goals we set.
I think so.
We're going to help.
And not a question, but just a thank you for showing that not only as a woman, but as a Latina woman, that there's a bigger picture out there, that we can strive to help not only our community, but show our community that it's possible not only to purchase a property, but to grow to the level that you guys have.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. And it's a big why for us. Family's the root of everything for us. So I think it's really important, and I think it's really a core to our business. I think it's what makes our business very, very special, is that we have so many culturas in our company that it's just so interesting and loving and fun. So who wants to be sitting in a boring box by themselves? It's so much more fun to be around different people. So
It's true. Even when we came to this company, I mentioned to Ralph, this is the first company that I've worked in that we have programs like Latino Focus, like Impact, NAF Pride. I've never been in a company that shows so much on inspiring people to be who they are and grow to the person that they're meant to be.
yeah, no, I love it. I love it. And you know what I love the most is that the team members drive those, and I don't like to call them resource groups or anything, because that's like something you have to do. We're doing it because we want to do it. And, Mosé and the team members that run Latino Focus, they putting in their personal time. They have jobs. They have other jobs that they do. They're originators, or Miguel runs NAF Cash. Now he's head of Latino Focus. These are passion projects and passion cells, and you can see it. And so I think that's what's so attractive. And, NAF Pride is our newest group, and it was a few of our team members came to me and said, we really want to do NAF Pride. They did it. And out of all 3, NAF Pride had the most people sign up.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you just never know what our lived experiences are, what our lives are like at home, until you start to talk about what might be interesting to us or passionate for us. So these groups are great, but the employees and the team members do it all. They do.
And then you guys are, I feel like, growing rapidly in the sense that not only can NAF lend in the 50 states, now we've opened up to Puerto Rico.
I know, we're in Puerto Rico. I know. Miguel and Monica are doing a big event there, and they're just saying this is going to grow like crazy. But I did hear one thing: Puerto Ricans are very loyal.
Yes. Latino, they're very low.
No, but they take it a whole other level. They don't leave their companies. They're, oh, we want to join that, but I've been here 10 years. So it's not like typical, right? But we're learning, we're showing them that our platform is just going to increase their business so much more in the programs we have to offer. So it's a perfect place for a company like ours. But no, it's exciting to be able to say that we're in Puerto Rico.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So clearly we learned a lot from you both. What did you guys take away from the graduate, if anything?
Well, Rick filmed for his first time. Rick doesn't film content at all. He was filming the social media realtor,
Okay.
the kid. Very impressive. The other gentleman that had the cow farm,
Michael Earn.
yeah, he talks like I do. Like he has the same visions and he talks a lot how I talk and how I feel. So I resonated a lot with him. I mean, all of them were so impressive.
They really were great.
Yeah, they really were great.
I'm hoping somebody videotaped the whole thing because I'm going to require my son watch a lot of what I heard. I think that the messaging was fantastic. It really was fantastic. And how fun is it to see these people that are just excelling and learning along the way, and then being here willing to give back by sharing those stories.
Yeah, amazing.
That is amazing.
Well, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you again.
Thanks so much.
And
for having us.
fun in New York.
Okay, well, we're in rest. Still fun tonight.